Scorpio, welcome to your astrology reading for the month of December. So before I get into it, this is going to be most applicable for your rising sign, also known as your ascendant. This is how other people perceive you, especially when they first meet you. It's still applicable for your sun sign, which is how you express yourself, and then your moon sign, which is how you process everything internally through that emotional lens. Just to talk about the energy of the month, because we do have, this is typical. We have a lot going on. In the month of December, we have Neptune, Mercury, and Chiron all stationed direct. At the same time, we have Mars stationed retrograde. This one here is significant because it does only happen every 2 years. And so we'll jump into that. And the other kind of thing to note is that we have these bookends of these new moons. The first one right away, new moon in Sagittarius. For me, that's on December 1st at 1:21 in the morning Eastern time. Depending on your time zone, it might be November 30th, but I'm doing this in my time zone, so this is why it's showing up as December 1st. But what I really like about the new moon in Sagittarius, so you have the sun and the moon, they're at the same degree point in the sky. There's an overlapping of energies here, but it's a lot of growth and expansion and optimism and high-level thinking and kind of what is it that you want to accomplish here. It's sitting in your second house. So it's all about your personal finances. This is a really good new moon for you and where it hits, because it's a lot of energy focused on what do you have. Maybe it's not even just your money. It could be any kind of assets that you have, anything that's of value. I love to see that. The sun and moon will trine Mars and Leo. And so any kind of action that you're looking to take at work easily blends with how you feel and what you're trying to do and maybe grow and expand in your personal finances. I like that connection. This new moon will trine Chiron retrograde in Aries. And so whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish there, it's helping you to heal whatever wound exists in your daily life. There's something that's been coming to the surface in your life, probably for the majority of the year, where it's really become front and center. You almost can't miss it kind of energy. Whatever this wound is, you focusing on maybe your personal finances, your money, things that you value here really helps you figure out what you need to do in order to heal that wound. This new moon will square Saturn in Pisces. And so when it comes to any kind of goals and dreams that you have as it relates to hobbies, passion projects, children, this new moon is going to make it more difficult for you to really work on those dreams. And it's more of you're focused on something else right now. So you're not really focused on kind of doing the work that you need to in order to make those dreams a reality. And then this new moon will be opposite Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. And so this is second house, eighth house. There's a lot of money here in this opposition. So you're very focused on growing and expanding your personal finances. And that's going to be opposite any kind of inner growth or what you're trying to accomplish internally that relates to maybe the money that you earn, the debt that you pay down here. I'm getting more debt than anything else, but there is an opposition energy here. So if you have goals of like paying down debt, but now you're shifting to maybe I don't want to put so much money down on a credit card every month, and I want to be able to save more just in case like an emergency comes up or I have a car issue or something along those lines. That would be an opposition energy that you're trying to kind of find that balance between. And then we have Mars station retrograde. So that's going to happen on the 6th at 6:33 p.m. Eastern time. And so Mars is the planet of action. Sitting in Leo. Leo is very bold, very dramatic. Let's take some action here. It is sitting in your career sector. But now, instead of taking some sort of outward action that might be having you step out of your comfort zone, there's a lot of inner work that you're going to be doing, a lot of inner focus on what actions do you need to take, getting clarity around what are you trying to accomplish here in your career. That is going to trine both the Sun and Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. So when you think about your personal finances, what kind of actions do you need to take at work in order to grow your personal finances? Understanding how these actions might influence growing your finances. And so there's a lot of really positive back and forth energy, kind of aligning your career with what you value, what you have, that money you have. So I like where that's going. It will be opposite. So this Mars retrograde in Leo is opposite both Venus in Capricorn and Pluto in Aquarius, I'm going to talk about them separately. So when it comes to Venus in Capricorn, this is all about your communication. There's structures that you have in place. You have this way of expressing yourself that is probably very methodical, very goal-oriented, very driven and ambitious in that sense. And Venus in this energy is a lot of kind of communicating in a way that instills like harmony and balance and focuses on what's the most important thing here, that valuable piece of information that you're trying to get across. So when you're thinking about your career and what kind of interactions or getting clarity on the actions that you need to take in your career, it is going to be opposite maybe the way that you're used to communicating here. So there might be something that's changing and you haven't quite got to the point of the actual changes taking place, but this is an opposition energy. And so the focus is either going to be, I'm going to continue doing what I do, or I'm going to continue evaluating and figure out what do I need to change or what action do I need to take in my career. As far as the Pluto in Aquarius energy, so Pluto just entered Aquarius. This is sitting in your 4th house. So this is a lot of work-life balance that's coming into play. And so this Mars retrograde is really going to be, okay, what kind of actions do I need to take at work versus what kind of changes are taking place at home? What structures are being removed? How am I being, how are restrictions being lifted at home to help me maybe aid in my career? Right now it's a push-pull energy and it's trying to figure out where's the priority right now, because Mars in Leo, that Mars retrograde in Leo, is about you focusing on your career instead of what needs to change at home. When it comes to your passions, your hobbies, children, things like that, whatever action that you're trying to get clear on and that you want to take in your work environment, it's going to easily flow with gaining clarity on those dreams. So when you think about children, what does that look like? What do you have a set number in mind? Are you still trying to have children? Do you even want to have children? Is it your passions and your hobbies? Like what are you trying to gain clarity on? Because this Mars retrograde is going to help you there. It's going, when you're figuring out what actions you want to take from a home environment, or not a home environment, a work environment standpoint, it's going to help you figure out what kind of goals that you should be setting in your passions or children, things like that. And then we have Venus and our Aquarius. And so we already have Pluto there. Now we have Venus. And this is all focused on your home environment here. So it's literally the day after, it's actually within hours. Once Mars stations retrograde, we have Venus in our Aquarius. So you might be shifting a lot back and forth between home, focusing on your home life versus focusing on your career, if I can get the words out. This one here, it's going to be more focused on home. So what is it that you're trying to bring together? What kind of harmony and balance are you trying to bring in together in your home environment? What do you value? What do you love about it? And then with Pluto in the mix, because those two are in a conjunction, so it's really an overlapping of energies, Pluto is saying, oh, you love and value this? Okay, well, let's make more room for it. Let's get rid of something in your life. Let's release something here so that you can make more room for what you do love and what you do value in your home environment. I really like that. And just like we saw a couple hours before, we've got this kind of push-pull happening between your home and your work environment. So as you're focused on your home, you're not focused on what action you need to take at work, and vice versa. We do have Venus trine Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And so now we're getting into your home life as it relates to your significant other. So if you're married, it would be your marriage partner. If you're living with somebody, it would be that partner. It's that really long-term commitment that is highlighted with that 7th house energy. And so when you're thinking about what you love, what you value in your home environment, and really this is what you want to pursue, it's going to easily blend with whatever changes are taking place in that relationship here. So there's a lot of harmony and balance that's being restored because you've got Venus on the one side in your home environment, and then you've got Taurus on the other side, which is ruled by Venus. And so there's a lot of harmony and balance coming into play in your relationship, in your home environment. I really loved to see that kind of play out that way. And then we do have Venus sextile Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And so whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in your home environment here, bring things together, that harmony, that balance, it's creating an opportunity for even more clarity as it relates to maybe it's children, number of children, things like that. It could be passions, hobbies, anything along that house of fun idea where this is what you enjoy doing outside of work. you can kind of see how family really kind of comes into play here, because you've got your marriage partner or your significant other, if that's your story, and home environment, now a connection with children as well. So you can kind of see how that would play out if again, that's where you are in your life. Not everybody is. And so there's other things that are highlighted too, like your passions and things like that. And then the same day that Venus enters Aquarius, we have Neptune stationed direct in Pisces. So that's going to be on the 7th at 6:43 p.m. Eastern time. And so Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So now that it's stationing direct, it's kind of like all systems go. Let's go after our dreams. When Neptune was retrograde, there was a lot of fog that was being lifted, a lot of seeing the truth in exactly what it is that you were trying to accomplish. Was that real? Was that not? Is that even practical? Is that a goal that I've made so unattainable that I can never achieve it? That was a lot of that Neptune retrograde energy. But now that it's direct, it's like, okay, well, I've received that clarity. Now it's about, what do I need to do in order to make that a reality? And so that's the Neptune direct in Pisces, and it will sextile Venus in Aquarius. And so what this is doing, so these dreams that you have related to children or your passions, things like that, it's creating an opportunity for more changes to take place at home. There's a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius, and also Venus in Aquarius, to really highlight and focus more on what you value and love in your home environment. So I like how that is playing together. Neptune in Pisces will trine Mars retrograde in Leo. So even what you're doing from a passions and hobbies, and maybe even children standpoint here, it easily blends with whatever action that you're thinking about taking at work. It's also going to create an opportunity for more changes to take place within your significant relationship. So your marriage partner, if you're married, that type of relationship. So I like the way that this is all kind of coming together. It's really hitting on your career, children if you have them, a marriage partner if you have one, and your home environment. Like, I love how all of this is really coming together for you. This is a really positive time for these areas of your life. And then we have the full moon in Gemini on the 15th at 4:02 in the morning Eastern time. And so when this happens, you've got the sun and you've got the moon. They're at opposite points in the sky. Here, this is really impacting you financially. So we saw a little bit of it with the new moon in Sagittarius, but now we've got the moon in Gemini. So there's a push-pull between expanding what you have, that's sun in Sagittarius, versus growing maybe what you're earning, or how you feel about the money that you pay out in debt every single month. There is this kind of push-pull. And again, I keep going back to debt because it could be an instance where maybe you're not going to put so much money towards something like paying down something, student loans, credit cards, whatever it is, because you're trying to save more than that you earn. And so there's a push-pull that's taking place here. You can certainly find a way to work with it. The interesting aspect is because you've got the sun and the moon is actually really close to Jupiter at this point. They're in a conjunction themselves. And so Jupiter's retrograde in Gemini. So when you're thinking about, okay, what do I need to grow and expand? Either the money that I earn, or maybe find a way to pay down that debt, because that would be a way of growing and expanding. You're just making yourself more kind of liquid in that sense. And so the moon and Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, you feel really good about what you're trying to accomplish there, but it is very different than the goals that you've set or what you're trying to accomplish in what you already have. And so it's that push-pull energy. You can certainly find a way to overcome it. It's going to require some effort here. And then we have the sun and moon are in a T square with Neptune and Pisces. And so when it comes to those dreams related to your passions, your hobbies, children, things like that, maybe even short-term relationships, maybe marriage is not your thing. It could be connected to short-term relationships too. Regardless, whatever you're trying to do, from the money that you have, the money that you earn, or the debt that you pay out, they're both creating conflicts. They're both creating challenges to really working on the dreams that you have as far as those passions or those children, something like that. Whatever that area of your life is, this is really not the time to focus on that area of your life. It's more about kind of getting that financial stability that you're looking for, because there is a lot of back and forth with the money you earn, money you pay out, money you're trying to keep. And then we have the sun and moon are actually they're both in a positive aspect to this Chiron retrograde in Aries. So whatever that wound is connected to your daily life, There's a wound that's coming to the surface and has been coming to the surface the majority of the year that might be preventing you from doing exactly what you want to do on a regular basis, because that's what your daily life is all about. So there might be something connected to not feeling good enough to be able to do something, or that you're not skilled enough to be able to do something in your regular life here. That wound might also be connected to finances, because we have the sun in Sagittarius trine Chiron retrograde in Aries. And so if part of your issue here might have been financial stability, not being able to afford the lifestyle that you want here, the sun in Sagittarius, whatever you're trying to do to grow and expand your personal finances, it's going to easily blend with healing this wound. The moon in Gemini will sextile Chiron retrograde in Aries. So how you feel about the money that you earn, the money that you're paying out, it's going to create an opportunity for you to really heal that wound. So again, like if part of it is not being able to fund a specific lifestyle, this is how I would see it playing out. And then the same day as the full moon, we actually have Mercury station direct. So that's going to happen at 3:56 in the afternoon Eastern time. We're actually going to be in the post shadow until January 2nd. So all that means is that Mercury retrograde energy is going to start dissipating. It's just going to take some time before it's fully gone. And we're just in this all communications go, clear communications going forward. Mercury is in Sagittarius, so this is a lot of optimism that's coming out, outward expression of that. With Mercury in Sagittarius sitting in your second house, I mean, this is really, if you're looking to have conversations around growing your finances or having some sort of discussion related to your finances, this would be a really good time to do it when Mercury is in the sign of Sagittarius. It will also sextile Venus in Aquarius. And so if there's something that you're trying to do as it relates to your personal finances and your home environment, now that Mercury is direct, it's creating an opportunity for you to really work on something at home, bring something together, find that harmony and balance in your home environment. And it could be just this outward expression about your goals and what you're trying to accomplish and grow in your personal finances. Mercury in Sagittarius will trine Mars retrograde in Leo. And so when it comes to your career, I love the way that this is playing out. You might be having really kind of high level financial conversations with people and what your goals are related to the money that you keep. And this is going to easily blend with you figuring out what actions you need to take in your career in order to make that a reality. We will see Mercury opposite Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. So it's a lot of that outward expression of, let's talk about the money that I have and let's talk about how do I grow the money that I have. That's going to be opposite any kind of internal growth that you're going through. Could be connected to the money that you're paying out, things like that. There's a very strong financial sense coming through for you this month. And it seems to be more of leaning into the Mercury and Sagittarius energy as opposed to the money that you earn. There might be something, I'm just getting a sense of like putting a structure into place to set some goals around growing your personal finances that really are being highlighted right now. And then we have Mercury in Sagittarius. So this one's interesting because there's a square to Saturn in Pisces, but there's a trine to Neptune in Pisces. And so what this means is Pisces, it rules your fifth house. So children, your passion projects, things like that. When it comes to the goals that you've set, the dreams that you have in that area of your life, these kind of high level optimistic conversations that you're having related to your personal finances really fully align with whatever you're trying to accomplish there. However, having these conversations doesn't give you maybe the time or energy to actually work on those. And that's where I'm seeing that square energy to Saturn come into play, because it's like, I want to talk about it, so it's more cerebral versus putting in the effort and energy to make it a reality. And then we have Mercury in Sagittarius sextile Pluto in Aquarius. And so again, whatever it is that you want to accomplish in your home environment, the more that you have these conversations around what do I need to do to grow and expand, the easier it is for you to really take advantage of opportunities to make changes in your home environment that really allow you to release what doesn't work, focus on what does, and really emphasize that specifically. And then on the 21st, we have the sun enter the sign of Capricorn. So that's going to happen at 4:21 in the morning Eastern time. Now this is the solstice. Personally, being in the Northern Hemisphere, and I have said this in every video because I truly mean it, I'm ready for more daylight. And so this is when we're going to start getting more minutes of daylight every single day. And I like the way that this is impacting you because this is connected to your communication. And so when the sun enters Capricorn on the 21st at 4:21 in the morning Eastern time, this is going to have you shifting the way that you're communicating. There's going to be a lot of ambition coming from you. You're going to be very driven to express yourself in a specific way, maybe talking about plans that you want to put into place. There's been such an emphasis on money. Maybe it's connected to that because this is your communication. Where it is maybe creating obstacles and challenges is in those communications to money. This is not, it's a conflict only in the sense of Capricorn really wants you to start working on it versus Mercury is still in the thinking, communicating about it. And so you can find a way. I think this one here is going to be a lot easier for you to work with than for other signs just because of the way that it's impacting you. There's a lot of heavy communication impacted because you've got Capricorn in your communication house. You've got Mercury as the planet of communication. This might be around maybe what work you need to do in order to make your financial goals real. You just have to put the effort into it. And then we have Chiron stationed direct on the 29th at 4:13 in the afternoon Eastern time. And so again, the Chiron, this is a wound that's been coming to the surface. So when it comes to your lifestyle, the life that you want to live here, with Chiron stationing direct, you probably have a lot more clarity than you did before. You're able to understand what triggers this. What do I need to do to heal through it, process it, so I can move on and not let this hold me back in any way. And so Chiron, when it stations direct, will trine both the moon and Mercury in Sagittarius. And so there might be something in your life, again, could be connected to money, lifestyle. You might have a wound where you can't live the life that you want because of the money that you have or the money that you earn. This here, as far as the money that you have and what you're trying to do to grow and expand that, easily blends with healing whatever this wound is. And maybe it's more of acceptance. Maybe it's more of, why do I want to live that lifestyle anyway? Is that really what I want for myself? And so there's a lot of that coming into the picture here. This Chiron in Aries will also sextile Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. And so when it comes to the money that you're earning and anything that you might be experiencing as it relates to what you're earning or any kind of inner growth that you might be going through, understanding this wound, how it's impacting you, and is this really a lifestyle you want to live anyway, is helping you. It's giving you an opportunity for more inner growth. And again, kind of going back to that acceptance, like, are you okay letting go of that? Is that really a lifestyle that you want to live? Or, something along those lines. I'm just really getting a strong sense of that specifically. I don't know why I'm getting that you're coming to terms with something, but I think it's not really coming to terms with something. I think it's more of when you really take that step back and look at the entire picture, it wasn't what you really wanted anyway. And so there's a reason that wound existed. It wasn't allowing you to pursue that lifestyle. And now that you think about it, it's not one that you want anyway. I don't know. I'm just getting a very strong sense of that. So take that as it resonates. And then we end the month with the new moon in Capricorn. And so this is, again, going to be in your house of communication. It happens on December 30th at 5:27 p.m. Eastern time. And this is, just like we saw at the beginning of the month, a blend of energies. So the sun and moon, same degree point, this kind of ambitious self-expression, going after a strategy, putting it into place, how you feel about that, expressing it, it's all coming together. This all feels really good, really solid. This is creating an opportunity for you to now work on the goals and dreams that you have as they relate to children or your passion projects. Where it is creating some challenge is in healing that wound in your daily life. And it's more of, if you are in this space of focusing more on putting a strategy into place, communicating a strategy, coming up with a detailed plan here, then your emphasis isn't going to be on the overall lifestyle that you're living or that wound that's impacting your life on a regular basis. It's more of, okay, well, this is what I need to do, so let me focus on this area instead of this. Wow. So Scorpio, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.